Motorcycle is the only thing which helps us to escape from the reality and give us the pleasure on the road which we want. We boys, we always have one option. On the highway side only, not on another side. So, Jai Jagannath Darsako Bandhu, this is Rider Nana. Welcome to another episode on Hunter 350. So today I'm going to tell you about a lot of things about this motorcycle, and this motorcycle gives us a very mixed feeling about everything. This motorcycle is not a perfect motorcycle, but it's like a Royal Enfield. It's just selling this motorcycle to Guiana pigs like us, because this is the first phase motorcycle, and I must say the engine is absolutely epic on the highway side. But this motorcycle have a lot of issues as well. I'm going to tell you and I'm going to show you how this motorcycle actually gives me that mixed feeling. So talking about these tires, there is a huge problem with these tires because these tires are coming from C8, and I have a very bad experience on these tires because these tires are actually not very good on the off-road or on-road as well, because on the rainy days these tires are actually not helping out. And I was expecting MRF, but they are not equipped with that. So a big no for these tires. And talking about the braking on the front and rear, those are different. Like the rear one is not that good, but the front one is absolutely brilliant. This motorcycle is equipped with dual disc channel and dual channel ABS as well. Stand on the topper variant. I haven't opted for the tripper navigation because I thought that thing is completely useless. Bro, I just paid the money and I brought the motorcycle, and I must say that tripper is completely useless. They must need to improvise that. And talking about the headlight, the indicators and the tail light. The indicators are they are functional, not like they are bad, they are functional. They must need to improvise that. And the headlight beam is absolutely great, but on the rainy days it will be nightmare of yours because the front lights are going to blind you and the halogen is not going to help you. I have installed the Phoenix 10 watt LED on this motorcycle. This LED is like a very good replacement of these halogens, and they are working really fine. If you want to blind someone on the frontal side, if they are using the high beam, you can use this headlight. Talking about the blinkers, these indicators are containing like 4 bulbs, which is a halogen, and each bulb actually drawing 10 watt. If you are using the hazard for a very long time, the battery will face some issues. So if you are going to switch to LEDs, you have two options. Either you switch to some local made, or maybe some SimTac indicators which are going to cost you like 700 rupees. You can opt for the official Royal Enfield's certified LED indicators, but you have to pay 4,750 rupees and labor charges are extra. Choice is yours. And talking about the tail light is extremely nice, and that is extremely bright even in the daylight, but due to the plate, it is actually invisible to a lot of people. But that's not the problem, but the light is really visible to a lot of people since a very if you are from very long distance, if you are checking out the motorcycle, the light is extremely bright. Now talking about the handlebar. This handlebar, either it is going to give you the best pleasure in the world, or this handlebar is going to be the biggest nightmare of your life, because these handlebars are designed for roadster type. But the problem I'm going to show you now. So now coming to the ergonomics of this motorcycle. This motorcycle is really comfortable, but there are few flaws I'm going to tell you. First of all, the riding posture, as you can see, It's a pure metal. But this motorcycle is containing a lot of fiber parts. This is the first ever motorcycle from Royal Enfield. But this motorcycle contains a lot of fiber parts like the front fender, the rear fender, and the side box. I've never seen this kind of motorcycle from Royal Enfield since a very long time. You know, this handlebar, actually, as you can see that I'm on the not that aggressive but a bit aggressive, and the triangle of this motorcycle is very good for single riders. But this pillion seat is really uncomfortable for pillion as well. So this plate from M Technics, this is helping us out, and the pillion have to carry the baggage in the rear side. That's pretty sure, because if you are going to keep the bag on your backside, it will hurt you and your pillion as well. So that is my kind of problem, and hunter must need to rectify that. And there is another problem. This motorcycle is not that heavy, but it's 184 kilo. And if you are going to pull back the motorcycle with your legs and your pillion side foot pegs are on, this will hurt you. The legs will be touching here and it will hurt you here. And if the pillion is going to sit with you, his feet is going, his or her, the feet is going to touch your feet as well. So that is, I think that's a drawback on this motorcycle. But I have no complaint about that. I am riding since a very long time and I have accommodated with that. And another problem of this motorcycle is, this is not for the beginners. If you are someone whose motorcycle is hunter for the first time, don't go for the hunter. If you are going, then you have to do a lot of exercises, because the clutch is not very light, it's a moderate hit. But the problem arises here. When you are going to put the main stand, you don't have a very good space to hold your motorcycle. On the Classic, it have a handlebar, a grab rail, and if you are going to put this motorcycle on the stand, you have to do an exercise. Okay, the surface is not good over here, but you have to put a lot of effort, because this motorcycle contains the Classic stand on this motorcycle. So that's a big problem. And you know, which fascinated me, this motorcycle, the exhaust system. This exhaust system sounds amazing. Let me show you. And it's a very good safety net. That motorcycle is not going to start if you are on the stand. This motorcycle is equipped with a side stand cutout. Very good. It's a BS6 standard thing. This motorcycle gives you like 36 to 38 kmph if you are riding it very gently. You know, some people ride like this. I'm not that kind of person. It's just like, you know, use your two fingers, just gently turn it up. So it will give you the maximum pleasure while riding the motorcycle. Well, there is one more thing that which really bugs me out when I am riding on the highway. You know, these shockers. These shockers are actually not that in a very good state since day one, because it's a first page motorcycle and they have to rectify this thing. If they rectify this thing now, this motorcycle is going to be absolutely brilliant motorcycle. I'm talking about this suspension. You know, your life won't be that hard as this shockers. You know, this is on the first stage, and this motorcycle shock absorbers, rear shock absorbers, are extremely hard. So why does the company give us the most softest shock absorbers in the front side and the hardest on the rear side? And you know, when these things are working out on the ghats, on the corners, and the brakes are really good if you are applying both on a single time. But if you are applying the front brake, you know, these shockers are not going to help you in a very high speeds. And as you can see, these handlebar doesn't have the Royal Enfield stock mirrors. You know why? Those mirrors are completely useless after 60 kmph. Why they are giving it to you, I don't know. I have switched to Varroc mirrors. You know, these mirrors are actually doing really well even on the high speeds. These mirrors are not shaking, they are not vibrating. If you adjust the screws, it will work like charm. And talking about the shockers, this is the only problem which I am facing right now, and I don't know why. So they must need to rectify that as well. I have completely forgot about the seat. You know, I have told you about the ergonomics on this motorcycle, but there is one problem. If you are going to open up the seat from this side, here there is a lock. If you are not going to put the seat on the lock, it will pop it out, and you have to be very careful while putting this seat on the lock. So everything is covered up, I guess. And one more thing, the T shockers, you have to adjust that after 2000 kilometers. I don't know why, but I think this is a really good maintenance thing, that if you are going to put a small effort while checking out the motorcycle. And about the sensors and the motorcycle, it's a very maintenance free motorcycle. I have a mixed match conclusion about this motorcycle. Who should buy this kind of motorcycle? Those who are single like me, or those who are like I don't someone on the pillion seat. This motorcycle is designed for them, because I have driven like 400 kilometers while stopping for 2 times, and this bike doesn't bother me at all. Even on the bad roads, these shockers are doing really fine. But the rear one is a different kind of pain in the ass if you are having any bump or issues. And another thing, the ground clearance on this motorcycle is a myth. The ground clearance is really low, it's like 150 mm only. So if you are riding on a very bad roads or maybe on the very bumpy roads, the panel, the engine guard is going to touch. That's pretty sure. So I'm just wrapping up everything. I'm not taking a very long time to discuss everything. I actually faced the problem. You know, this horn, unsolved problematic thing. You know why? The clips are completely baseless and useless. Like if you are going to wash the motorcycle at some places, or maybe at any moment. But if you are riding on the rainy days, because the horn is not going to work due to the corrosion. And I don't know why they are putting some clips to protect it, but the clips are actually giving us a lot of problem with that. So you have to be very careful, and you have to open it up by yourself, and you have to clean it up. Or if you are visiting the showroom, make sure that you have to explain that thing, that the horn is not working properly and it requires some cleaning. Can you see this motorcycle? It's a very big motorcycle. Why Royal Enfield thought about that motorcycle? You know, this is the rival. I know the comparison is not practical according to this power. This is a very powerful motorcycle, but that motorcycle is a very practical thing. And this motorcycle on the highway, it will outrun the Hunter. So if you want to see a comparison video on this thing, make sure to comment. And you know the drill. Till then, this is Raider Nana signing off. Adios amigos.